Jonah.
This is Mitch, and this is our project for the midterm for Interpersonal Communications 101W.
So, Mitch, what is interpersonal communication?
So, defined by a book in Interpersonal Communications by Corey Floyd, it is communication that is exchanged of information between two people or a group of people that enhance a skill or develop the improved with increased knowledge and practice between many people within a group. So, what are some key concepts on it?
Well, Dr. Lee McGann out of Utah defines some of these key concepts, and he says that there's a sender and receiver. So basically there's like two people that communicate, and there's a message sent, so the sender encodes it and the receiver decodes it, and it's sent through channels and stuff, but there can be like background influences like noise or based on the environment that message can change.
Awesome, good to know.
Hey Mitch, can you recognize some of the production and reception of messages exchanged?
Yeah, totally. So in production, that's kind of what affects the person speaking when they're using that. So how are they telling someone how effective that is to the person? So they are the giver. And the receiver or the reception is the interested subject. So how is the person taking it? Are they using active listening skills, mirroring, asking questions, and how attentive are they really listening? So let's put some of these nonverbal communication theories to the test.
All right, so our first nonverbal communication theory is communication through touch, which is defined as haptics, and some examples of that could be like if someone just won a big game, you give them a high five, or your friend's having a bad day, you could give them a hug or pat them on the back or something like that. And I found that information from Mandel F.B. in Nonverbal Communication in Humans, Journal of Human Behavior and Social Environment, and that was published in 2014. So basically, yeah, nonverbal communication, haptics, communication through touch.
Hi, Elsa.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What do you have to do today?
Class.
Are you excited to go home?
Yeah.
Okay. It's really good to see you.
You too.
Doesn't matter. Okay, so Elsa, I tried a form of haptics on you. How did that feel?
Well, I wasn't expecting you to sit on my lap.
So was it comfortable, uncomfortable?
I mean, we're close enough. It's good.
Okay, so if I wasn't that close, it probably wouldn't have been the best idea, so you have to take that into consideration when you're using haptics for communication.
All right, so our next theory of interpersonal communications within nonverbals is the order of prosemics, which means the idea of space within communications. And stated by Dr. Doran Shira from Chelpuca in Romania, the university there, it's all based on the space and how you perceive yourself within a communications theory when you're talking to someone. So that could be toe-to-toe with someone and you're trying to talk to them, or nose-to-nose like we did in class, or you could be from across the room and talking to someone and how that social distance works. And we're going to try to think this out in the CSU. Let's go. Hey, how's it going today?
Hey, doing all right.
Not too bad. Living the dream. Not just a little bit of a dream. So, how's your day going though?
It's good. It's early. It's good.
Good. Just a little early.
Yeah, just a little early.
That's fine. So speaking with John, I tried to use the spatial difference between us, and it worked out. It didn't work out. I kind of walked up at him, said hey from a distance, and then just worked my way up to him, and it seemed a little weird between that. A couple more theories that we're going to do today within the nonverbal communication is eye contact, gestures, and facial expression. So with eye contact, that's kind of where you look, how you perceive something when you're giving a message. So I could be talking to you about how my dog died. I'll be looking at the floor because I'm really sad. Or if I'm just looking at the floor talking normally, that could bring off a bad message, and I just don't care what I'm talking to you about. So what about gestures, Monica?
Well, gestures have to deal with like hand and arm movement, and there was actually a study on it by Tally L and Temple S in the article How Leaders Influence Followers Through the Use of Nonverbal Communication, and that was published in 2015. So basically they took 3 videos and showed it to viewers, and the first video the leader had no hand gestures, and the participant was able to just hear what the leader was saying, and the second the leader used 3 positive like hand gesture movements, and then the participant was able to hear what the leader was saying too, and then in the third video, the leader used 3 defensive hand gestures, and the participant was just like listening and watching that. And basically, like they found that positive hand gestures created like attraction to the viewers, like with the leader.
Yeah, and I guess with the last one with facial expression, that could be simply smiling when you're happy or frowning when you're sad. How you perceive, you could get a mixed emotion or not like that. So let's put these into action. So hi Haley, how's it going today? How are you starting your day?
Yeah, coffee.
Just coffee?
What are you guys talking about?
Hi.
So just coffee today?
Yeah.
So any classes today at all?
Yeah, but 9:30.
What class do you have?
Archaeology.
Archaeology.
Yeah.
Oh, that's freaking awesome.
I know, right? Dinosaurs and such, yeah. Not really, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, so how do you think that went?
I think it went really well. At first, it was kind of awkward. Like I walked up and I was using a little bit extra hand gestures. I don't know, maybe a little bit too much. And then you walked up and we kind of got really close, and I kind of just used a little body gesture and then eye contact and facial expressions. We were both staring her in the eyes, and she was looking away, and it felt a little weird, but it was a decent conversation.
Yeah, I think she didn't like the fact that we weren't in that social distance of 4 to 12 feet. So, yeah.
Definitely agreed.
Stop it. So, Mitch, how are some ways that you communicate with like your friends and family?
I guess going back to the theories that we talked about, haptics and prosemics, when I'm with friends, I'm more up close, like I'm personal. In prosemics, like I might touch you on the shoulder. I mean, like, how's your day going? Usually I give a hug, a handshake, maybe a little head nod. And I usually stand a little bit closer in that social zone that we talked about earlier. I'm not too far away, and that's all. How about yourself?
Well, like growing off of that, like I use eye contact and like hand gestures, and like I feel like my facial expressions are more like natural because I'm more comfortable with them. So I feel like that all goes together.
For sure. And that was our project today. I hope you enjoyed it. This is going to be a good A project. See you next time.